Well, I don't know if anybody's watching yet, but good morning. I started a few minutes early, so most people aren't expecting this for a little bit. Good morning, Richard. I don't think I've seen you in here before. How are you doing this morning? Techno Geek, what's going on, man? Haven't seen you around in a while, but I have seen you before. Oh, well, I hope everybody's doing well this morning. Oh, cool. Well, it's good to know that there are other people out there watching, even if they don't comment. So, um, and yes, that goes for the trolls too, and their thumbs downs. It's interaction, and I get view time and views and interaction. That's all YouTube cares about. So, whatever, Maker. Good morning, sir. So, does anybody know what causes? And it's only the S4 that does it. The nozzle drags on support material when it's building a support like tower. The nozzle will drag on it when it travels back across it, and I haven't been able to figure out why it does that. Which on smaller parts it causes a problem, because if the support tower is not very big, it rips it off the bed. I have not tried Z-Hop. That might help. I don't know. So, yeah, just when it travels back across the nozzle, it's like a kid walking with a stick next to a picket fence. Just yeah, I did yesterday before, and I did finally get, you can see it right there, the front end of the sports car to successfully print, because it was being victimized by the support material that was building up in the fender wells before it would get to the top of the fender. It was dragging across those, and it was ripping those off. And so it's better, but it didn't fix it. But yeah, I measured both sides and made sure they were perfectly aligned, and then re-leveled my bed and everything, and it's still clicking across as it goes. So I gotta dive into that further and see why it's doing it. Most of the parts that I print, it's not a big deal, because most of the time that I'm using that printer, I'm printing something big. But sometimes that something big has a small area that it has to support, and that's when it has issues. Usually bigger stuff, if the support tower or whatever is big enough, it can't rip it off the bed, even hitting it a little bit. Okay, I will try Z-Hop. On the next thing I print. Which, the sports car is coming along. There's one more piece to go. Yeah, supports can be a real pain. There is one more piece to go after the piece that's printing right now gets done. And then it'll be ready for me to glue it all together. And then the thing I started doing yesterday while hanging out in Mike Whaley's stream, I started designing like armor upgrades for G.I. Joes. And for those that have not been following me on Twitter, here's what I've got so far. So that I designed the helmet, the shoulder-mounted rocket launchers, and then these like, I don't know what to call them yet, like bionic gloves. They would look better printed with a resin printer probably. I just don't know if I want to go down that road with all of the mess and toxicity of resin and whatnot. I don't know if I want to go down that road. Another thing that I want to design is start designing, which you can see this figure needs a little attention because it's got wobbly legs. Yeah, that's exactly it. Technogeek is it's so much hassle with resin. I don't know if I want to go through all that. Even though it would look way better. Although I will say the Ender 2 did. I can get it to focus that close. The Ender 2 did a very nice job. I do need to expand the opening just a little bit on the gloves so that they sit a little further down on the hand, but you know, they fit on there nice and snug. I mean, they don't fall off. So I'm afraid that if I open the hole up much more, then you know, there'll have to be some sort of mechanism to hold the piece on better. But yeah, I mean, they stay on really well. Yeah, you know, another thing is not worry so much about what color they're printed in versus what they're going to end up being. And you know, I'm sure printed in 0.1 millimeter layer height, that a little shot of filler primer would probably smooth those right out. I'm also going to try, I have not done so yet, yeah, gauntlets, basically, whatever maker. I'm going to try that profile that the tabletop gaming guy does, that tricks Cura into thinking every layer is a top layer. It's supposed to smooth things out even more. So I will try that as well. I just haven't got around to going and setting up that profile. Morning, Don. But yeah, this part right here, when I attempted to print it, was a victim of the nozzle hitting the part. This wasn't even a support material thing. The nozzle actually hit right there, and ripped the part off the bed. Of course, I was printing it in this orientation here, so it didn't have a lot of surface area on the bed. So when it hit it, it just knocked it over. But I did get enough of it printed that I can see I need to make some adjustments to the model, because for some reason the model is rounding itself out right there, and I think that's the smoothing modifier that I put on it. I need to go in and try to set a hard crease on that edge so it doesn't round it out. So yeah, I've been fairly busy with projects and kind of changing direction on some things, and you know, got some new projects in the works and old projects that are moving slowly. But I have, you know, I squirrel off on stuff easy. You know, I'll get an idea and I got to get that idea at least started so that I don't forget about it. Another 26-hour print ahead of you, huh, Don? Cool, man. So yeah, I keep making all these big vehicles like this. I'm gonna have to thin the herd somehow. get them glued together and, I don't know, try selling them to some of the G.I. Joe guys or something. I don't know. Because I'm mainly doing this so that I can design it and, you know, print it out and test it. And then after that, you know, I don't have the models just kind of sit here. Part 3 of 7, huh? So yeah, what's printing right now on the CR10S4 is the hood for the sports car. And then this is the part, I gotta make some adjustments on this before I try to reprint this. Anyway, this is the rear deck. It goes behind the driver's seat, or behind the seats. See these things bump up for where the headrests are, so it acts as kind of like a roll bar or whatever, if you will, for a convertible. And yeah, just having some fun, you know, making some stuff. And so I've got the trailer still in the works. The short bed version of the truck is ready to print. I still got to go back and figure out the back door situation on the big truck. Thank you, Don. Yeah, I haven't thought exactly what to call it yet, but I'm thinking because of how the front end flares out the way it does, I've been thinking about calling it the Hammerhead sports car. Gotta give stuff a name, you know. Morning, Zimmy. Hope you were doing well this morning. I almost pulled the trigger on again last night on that Anycubic. Yes, 2 G.I. Joes can sit in the sports car. It's a 2-seater. Because the sports car was literally, I took the Jeep, just squashed it, stretched the front end, and then reshaped a few things. So yeah, it started out as the model that I worked with, the Blender file. I started with the Jeep and then modified the Jeep. Just like I did on the big truck, I started with the Jeep and modified it. Let's go to screen share. Let's go to screen share. Let's move the chat over here. Pull Blender up. You can see this is where I was working on the gauntlet bionic hand claw thing for the G.I. Joes. There it is. Save it before I open. What did I do with? Oh, there it is. But yeah, I did the same thing with this big truck. Is I started with the Jeep and just started stretching and manipulating the vertices to make this big truck. So, you know, that's what I did for the sports car. I squashed it and stretched the front end, and then for this, I just kind of blew everything up, made everything bigger. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have everything really organized today. So yeah, I still have to, on this, I still have to address the back door and the back bumper and the attachment points for the box. Yeah, a military speedboat is in the plans, because I will take and use the trailer frame that I'm getting out of creating the tactical trailer, I'll take the trailer frame and turn it into a boat trailer. Morning, Mike. Never let the machines win, Mike, because we got more than one Mike here now. So it's all coming along. Just, you know, I work on one project for a little bit, and then I bounce over to another, and it never seems to end. It never seems to end. There's always either new ideas coming up, or another project that I can go back and work on to further it, or even revisiting a project that's quote-unquote done and making accessories for it. There is more things to design than there is hours in the day to design it or print it. Yeah, a camper is on the list of things as well for the back of the truck, which what's in here? VSV truck. Nope, that's the wrong one. I want the VSV version 2 truck. There it is. Which I made a realization with the trailer. I think Roy Hiley's already probably started printing his, but I'm going to have to make a different frame, trailer frame for different vehicles. There's just not going to be any way around it because of the height of the bumper. The lower bumper is going to need the flat frame. Yeah, more stuff to make than I will ever have time for. But yeah, I'll make a slide-in camper shell for this, like the you know, big campers, like the one my father-in-law used to have, the great big thing that you can like sleep in and stuff. I'll make one of those for it, and then of course regular camper shells, roll bars. I've already got a lift kit for the Jeep that should work also for the truck. Should. I stayed up way too late last night watching Ben Craig play video games and chatting with him on Facebook. He's playing Quake Champions. Pretty cool looking game. Oh, cool, True Tech. Yeah, I've seen those. That's where it's built on the little Toyota truck, but they put like a 1-ton suspension on it, right? I always thought that was cool, that when they take those little trucks and put big suspension under them. Yeah, you know, a lot of people get caught up in the size of an engine, but it's not about the engine. It's about the transmission supplying the power that turns the engine into power for the wheels. The gearing of your transmission is everything. Gearing of your transmission and your rear end, that changes everything. New trailer frame. Well, more than one trailer frame. So it's going to have different, either that or I'm going to have to separate this front piece of the trailer from the rest of the frame so that you can choose which one to print. Now, the thing that I will say about gearing making a difference on stuff is you have a tiny engine, you can gear it up to have more power, but that a smaller engine is going to typically wear out faster working harder. That was the I had a 1985 S10 extended cab 4x4 when I was a teenager, and it had that 2.8 liter V6 in it, and that 2.8 V6 and its combination of gearing and stuff, it wasn't enough engine for that truck. Morning, Joe. How'd your work call go last night, man? I tried that, but the current trailer frame, I ended up having to make a hitch that raised way up in the air, which looked funny. Oh, till 3 a.m., dude. That sucks, man. Oh, Don, I bet Joe wishes it was more good night than good morning. He just got done working a few hours ago, and are you on your way into like work now? After being up last night? Most things like that can be prevented, really. But yeah, I tried using the trailer frame that's goes up like that. Well, I'll just show you. I'll copy it and go back to the truck, paste it. So yeah, I tried it, but then when I had to make a hitch that went way up like that, it looked really funny. So I may need to look and see if I can do the flat frame and make a hitch that works with the Jeep and the lifted Jeep with the flat frame, which would mean changing up the hitch. But that shouldn't be a big deal to reprint because the hitch is small. But if you've already printed the trailer frame, that's going to suck. Oh, okay. Well, then maybe we still have time. Let's do this. Let's flatten this out. Grab the whole trailer. Oh, tab out. Grab the whole trailer. Slide it back some. Now let me investigate what I can do here. Although, wait. I could be looking at this wrong. Let's do this. But separate that out right now. Sorry if this isn't real exciting. Coming up with ideas on the fly to try to fix this. And Joey's barking at something. Thank you, sir. See, Roy's on it. He's reminded me. All right, let's do this. Let's get rid of all this. No, I just call it being on top of it, man. Be on top of things. I don't call it being a pain at all. Unless you're asking for spring-loaded missiles. No, Joey. Wait a minute. I didn't want to... That one I didn't want to make a face on. That one's... Okay, cool. So instead, I need to look at this as... extrude. Oh, not the Y. X. There we go. X. You think of this as this sort of thing here. Wait, let's that. Extrude it out again. Not like that. Ed! Nothing good, my friend. Nothing good. Alright, so if I think of the hitch as having a drop more like that, then not create tools, join. Huh. Yeah, I have no drafting skills. Up here, make those line Well, thank you. Thank you, True Tech. Appreciate that, man. All right. So then we can let me get rid of that face. That face, that face, that face. I think this will work. Hold on. We'll see. Do that. Go here. Select that. And that. Select that. See if we can bridge these. Kinda, sorta. It did some funky things there, though. Let's undo that. Looks like we're gonna have to manually bridge them because it's not gonna want to do that. Try it again. No. It can't reconcile that properly. So we'll manually go through and bridge each one of these. Oh, that's why. Not the same number of faces. Alright, it'll be okay. It'll be okay. Okay, Marty. Alright. So if I think of the drop hitch more like that, well, while that wouldn't be hard to design, I think it might be hard to print. Powered exoskeleton. Oh, wow. That's an undertaking, dude. That requires a far more brilliant engineering mind than I will ever have. So, I mean, I think I'm still going to have to just have multiple trailer hitches for different heights. So each vehicle may have to have its own trailer hitch with a specific drop designed for it. But I think this solves our problem of the trailer, and then I just put up the flat one of these, and then we just adjust the length of the drop according to the height of the vehicle. And then you print whichever. If you're printing the truck, it'll have less drop. If you're printing the standard Jeep, it'll have the medium drop, and then if you're doing a lift kit, you'll print one with the big drop. Yeah, that's it. Is for FDM printing anyway. You start talking about pretty small holes and pretty small pins, and pins that small, you might put them in once, but you're not going to pull them back out and put them back in repeatedly without breaking them. It's just the nature of it. And I've been trying with my designs to avoid needing any hardware or parts that aren't 3D printed. My concern right now with this is being able to take the tension of pulling the trailer and thinking I may need to do something like it may be better to do something like this, right? Here. That would give it a little more strength. Yeah, I seen Inside the Mind of Matt does a lot of that Lost PLA Foundry stuff. Anyhow, so I think yeah, Inside the Mind of Matt's got a lot of got several videos on doing Lost PLA Foundry stuff. So yeah, check him out if you haven't. He's a good dude and awesome maker. No, this is the standard suspension Jeep. So let's save this. Let's copy this hitch. And let's open the VSV version 2 custom. That's the lifted one. Let's hide that. Let's tab into that. Let's flatten out the trailer. Tab out. Paste. Into that. So now I should be able to literally take and just drop that. Now that's really a deep drop. Yeah, it might be. I was just sitting here thinking the same thing. Alright, let's move that up, back up to where it was. Let's take, let me hide this plane. X. Let me see how far out we are from being able to take hold on. Let's hide these first. Hide those. Now let's copy those. X. Select all this. G. C. Yeah, the smaller wheel well opening is going to be a problem with that, huh? Oops. Forgot to grab the back doors here. G, O, Z. Didn't grab the tailgate. Dadgummit. Move. No. There we go. All right. So now the question becomes, we modify that wheel well opening without endangering too many things. Let's see. Let's see what we got. There doesn't have to have a lot of clearance, just enough. All right. G and the X. That right there. Whoops. This is starting to become a bigger hassle than I thought it was going to be. Because now you're talking about modifying so much. Well, that would work. Oh, now I gotta stretch that back too. Gosh. All because I made a truck that had a lower bumper. It's like the it's like that old story song thing, the old lady that swallowed the fly. Then she swallows a spider, then she How's it doing? All right. All right. Well, doing that would allow you to put the same lift kit on the trailer that you can put on the Jeep. That just means I need to go and pull down the trailer files that are up. Because now the whole trailer has changed, not just the frame. But I can do that, because I doubt anybody's printed it yet, since Roy says he hasn't started printing that yet. So let's go there. Let's go to delete. delete, 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 and delete. Okay. Everything on Discord associated with the trailer has been deleted. I will replace those when I finish fixing a few things that are still out of whack with stretching the design. So, I'll put those up when I finish massaging that, and we'll put the trailer files back up. And the little bit longer wheel well opening shouldn't be a problem for the smaller tires. Just have more space in there. My allergies are killing me today. Trailer folding wheels into floats. Was it 3D printing Doctor that is making the DeLorean with folding wheels? I thought that was kind of cool. That Mike Whaley is printing out right now. But yeah, at least doing it this way will give the option to use the same axles, wheels, and tires, whether lifted or standard, on the trailer that you use on the Jeep and the truck. It's probably the best way to do it anyway. All right. So there's that. Let's save. I needed to work on them. Nope. Oh, well, that's weird. Okay, well, I'm not exactly sure how to explain that. When I printed that out, it printed supports and everything underneath there, and then this has a definite curve to it. But when I open the file to look at it, oh, there's the curve. Never mind, I see it now. I see it now. It doesn't need that curve. I must have accidentally dragged those vertices out at some point. We'll fix that side and we'll just mirror it. This is Blender. TrueTech. Blender 2.79B. 2.8 is due out soon, and 2.8 changes a lot of stuff. Yes, Blender is awesome because it is very, very powerful, but free. No, it's every time I change Roy, every time I change to a different project, it's got to be restarted again. No, Joseph, you cannot have that. Which I also noticed when I went to print this out, that it had some artifacts it created in the STL because there wasn't enough geometry for it to smooth it out. So cut a few more extra lines in there. I need to order some more filament myself. I need to order some more silver because I'm almost out, and then I need white and red. So I need to place an order myself for some filament in the near future. Yeah, adding more to the geometry, making the geometry more complex, allows that to smooth that out better. Alright, so we're going to copy that. Go back here and hide this one. Paste this one in. And we're going to lose that gap up some. Take I also noticed it interfered with that a little bit. Later, Richard. Thanks for hanging out today, man. Dang it. There's 7. There we go. Delete vertices. Morning, Clyde. How are you doing today, sir? Life is treating you good, my friend. Job fair. Yay. How's your wife feeling? She feeling better? I know you said the other day she wasn't feeling well, so hope she is doing better. Good, man. It always sucks when the ones that we care for are not well. Add a mirror modifier. Y, not the X. Add clipping. And apply. Alright. Something I realized I was doing in Blender that could have saved myself some time that I didn't realize I could do until yesterday. So I'll share with you guys, because like I said, I'm still learning this stuff too. I had never paid much attention when I was exporting to one little checkbox that makes my life a lot easier. So before, when I was ready to export STLs and whatnot, I was taking each individual piece, copying it into a new file, and then exporting it as an STL from there. The realization I made yesterday, which makes my life a lot easier, is all you got to do is, wait, let me check. There's something else I wanted to check on that before I export this piece. One more thing I needed to check. Okay. Save. Okay. So, when you're ready to export stuff, here's a trick to make your life a lot easier. You click the piece you want to export, just the piece you want to export. See, all right, now I got this trunk area here selected. You go to File, you go to Export, STL. There's a little checkbox up over here that I hadn't paid attention to. To export only the selected object. Life made easy. Rear lid. Done. So I didn't realize that I could do that. Because before, when I tried exporting from here and I didn't realize there was a checkbox for the selection, it exports everything, even hidden objects, into the STL. But if you check that box, selection only, it exports only the selected item. So, yeah, the next thing to print will be the yeah. The first time I did that, I went, that's not what I wanted. I brought it in the slicer, and it was like the whole scene. I went, no. So that's when I went back and I started, you know, I'd copy an image or copy the item that I wanted, open a new file, paste it in there, and then export just that to make sure there wasn't anything hidden or anything like that. And then yesterday when I was making this stuff for the G.I. Joe figures, I saw that over there and I was like, and I moused over it and it said, export only the selected item. I went, oh, that's so handy. Why didn't I see that before? Yeah, there's a TrueTech. There's a new slicer out there that's like $20 a year. Blue Band that will automatically slice stuff up into smaller pieces for you and automatically add the registration keys to line it back up. It's pretty cool. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm gonna have to, because I think that would make my life a little easier on some of my items. Hold on, I'm gonna take a look at this print real quick. See where we're at. Okay. The hood is coming along nicely. The hood is what's printing now. Looks good. Oh, this isn't actually part of the model. This is just, I was looking to see what if. So when I get the hood done and I print this other piece that we just worked on this morning, I will have this much of the car printed. Exactly like this here. And with the way the front end flares out like that, that's why I said I've been thinking about calling it the Hammerhead. Because I think it's kind of got, you know, that hammerhead shark kind of vibe with the front end flaring out that way. Well, that's all right, Robbie. Stream last night went okay. We had some fun, you know, sang some songs. That's what it's all about. Well, TrueTech, I don't know if you seen when I did it, but this actually started off as the model of the Jeep. I just started squashing some things and stretching some things and made that. A German that says y'all. After I got done with it, I thought it has a little bit of the it has a little bit of the flavor from the that concept car that Dodge made back in the 90s, the Copperhead. Yeah, Clyde, I was thinking about adding that to it. And making a version that has that and a roof and the flat deck, and putting a turret on the back of it. So then it would be kind of like a quick strike scout kind of vehicle. Because, you know, G.I. Joe had more absurd vehicles throughout their years. We're getting close to release day for the standard Jeep. November 1st is when I plan on putting that on Thingiverse and making it free for everybody. So this is coming soon. Patreon supporters have had access to it for a while, and then they'll still have exclusive access to the four-door Jeep and the turret and stuff like that. Yeah, Clyde, you said that was your birthday, man. In the future, sure, yeah, you know, we'll fight wars entirely with machines, and then we'll make AI, and the machines will learn to make war without us and then against us. But the machines will keep all of us 3D printing guys alive, because you know, they'll know that we're excellent tinkerers, and they'll need tinkerers. Oh, man, you know, my plan for all you know, all of my designs is for them to be openly available to everybody. I'm just giving the Patreon backers a chance to have it first. Oh, dude. Lithophane failed. That's no good. Sorry for that, Clyde. That sucks, man. Oh, I stayed up too late last night. Dang you, Ben Craig. And watching you play video games. And I was like, oh, that looks like a cool game. I wish I could play that game. But I actually don't wish I could play that game, because if I played that game, I would spend even less time doing the things I'm supposed to be doing. That would be cool, True Tech. Wow, that's cool. That's crazy. These are this menu is hard ops stuff, which I haven't even begun to play with some of it. Yeah, Hard Ops and Box Cutter were two very cool add-ons that that I purchased. They do things to your model that you could do through free processes within Blender, but they're time intensive and more difficult to do the free way. While Hard Ops basically turns a subdivision and adding creases and things like that into a one button press intelligent operation. It can tell which surfaces should be left sharp edges and just does it. And if you decide that an edge that they thought should be sharp, you don't think it should be, you can go in and go into edge select mode. You can select the edge, say like we wanted to take the crease out of that. There. Which I kind of do want to take the crease out of that. I've already printed it now. It's too late for mine, but it won't be too late for somebody else who decides to print it in the future, because that crease there was too sharp. It would look like if I took the hard edge off. I don't want it on that. Let's take it off and see. Yeah, it's too late for mine on a couple of these changes, but because I've already printed it without reprinting it. But when I release it to you guys, let's take the hard edge off of that and see. And then let's bevel it. See what that looks like. Nah. Right, well, I don't need crumble zones and honeycomb and stuff like that because, well, it's not a real car. It's a toy. Yeah, it's not even an RC though. This is just G.I. Joe toys. Well, 1/18 scale toys, not necessarily G.I. Joe toys. Because there's nothing officially G.I. Joe about any of this. But, you know, it's designed to be, you know, my version of stuff like this. But I don't base mine off of any real life vehicles for copyright reasons and intellectual property right reasons and creativity reasons. I mean, it doesn't take a lot of creativity to just copy something somebody else has made already. So, yeah, this is a G.I. Joe vehicle from the Rise of Cobra movie that I picked up at Goodwill for 99 cents. But it's got some cool little ingenuity into it, though. You know, the pop-up gun. Well, a pop-up gun, and then it's got a flip forward. I can get it out of there. It's got a flip forward windshield armor. And then it's got missiles hidden in the back doors. Which I was surprised, being at Goodwill, and these missiles being removable. Kind of. But they're still in there. They are removable, I just can't get a hold of them because it's too small. So yeah, not all G.I. Joe vehicles had spring-loaded missiles and stuff. Some of the missiles were just, you know, you took them off. Threw them at stuff, and that's how you lost them. Value Village. I don't think we have any of those here. Ben! Good morning, sir. Oh, there's a 93 Ford Ranger on Thingiverse. Printer's a lot quieter once it gets past the support material that it kept banging into. IC3D made a Twitter post yesterday about show us your IC3D prints. When I get this car done, I'll have to share it with them because the orange filament I'm using is IC3D filament. It's a very bright orange too, it's like crazy bright. Let's see. The rear lid. Morning, Chris. How you doing, man? Just fixing some stuff so I can print it later today. Got the it's really blurry back there in the background, but finally did get the front end of the sports car to print, and now I'm printing the hood for the sports car. Started designing some stuff for G.I. Joe figures, and I guess you wouldn't see that since I posted it all on Twitter yesterday. The helmet, the shoulder-mounted missile launcher, and the power gauntlet weapons were all designed yesterday. And the Ender 2 did a nice job printing them too, man. That's a nifty little printer for, especially for quick and small prints. Hey, Ryan. So yeah, it's a nifty little printer for quick small prints, and does a beautiful job with them. Yeah, when I try doing the auto leveling, since you put the auto leveling sensor on there, it wants to bang into the bed in the back left corner, but it still seems to level well enough to print. So just a little too much squish on the first layer in the back corner, but whatever, it prints fine. If it bothers me enough at some point, I'll dig into it. Techno Geek was here earlier and said, I'm having a issue on the S4 that the nozzle is banging into support columns as it builds them up. It starts banging into them when it travels back across them. He said Z-Hop will take care of that. I haven't tried Z-Hop, so I thought I'd get a second opinion from you since I haven't had a chance to try it yet. I know it's in here somewhere. Z-Hop, Z-Hop, where's it at? Ah. There we go. Turn on Z-Hop for that and slice it. Okay. Yeah, I'd never Does it like add time to the print and things like that, or is that negligible? I can't even put this on the card until the printer gets done. Yes, PT3D is Clyde. Okay. Yeah, it's got me at 5 hours on this print, so that's not horrible. So when I get when the hood gets done back there, I got this to print, and then I can glue the car together, and the car will be done. The car will be done to that level right there. Right there. Had to unhide that. So I'll have the physical embodiment of what you see on the screen there. Oh, sorry. I think a nap is in my future today, because I got to work tonight. Yeah, I hear you, Chris, and I don't have near as many people come watch my channel as you do, and it's hard enough for me to remember everybody. I can't help but say that once in a while too, Robbie. I really can't, and I'm sorry for that, Clyde. I'm sure you've dealt with that your whole life. We're not calling you an orangutan, but there was, probably the most famous Clyde of my childhood was right turn, Clyde. Any which way but loose. Hey, it was a Clint Eastwood movie. Can't go wrong there. Well, you can. I guess not all of his movies are great, but most of his movies are great. I even like his movies where he's not being like a tough guy. Like I enjoyed, but I'm a baseball freak. I enjoyed Trouble with the Curve. I'm still kicking around going to Murph if it would even be feasible, and if it's feasible at all, it's only for one day, and that would be Sunday. So I'm not sure. And it would mean me showing up for only that one day and being really, really tired when I got there, because I would have to leave straight out from my show Saturday night, because it's a 8.5 hour drive. They needed to pick a place to have Murph that was close to an airport. Because I'll have to, if I could do Sunday, I'll have to leave straight from, I'll get done playing in Nashville at 1 o'clock in the morning. And then it'll be a 9.5 hour drive total from there, because that's from Nashville and not Clarksville. So I get done at 1 o'clock in the morning. I would get home change clothes, hit the road, and would get there driving straight through just before noon. Yeah, True Tech. I'm a musician for a living in Nashville. I've been a country singer for 28 years, man. But being self-employed the way that I am, there's no such thing as paid vacation and things like that. So if for me to go to Murph, I can't afford to take Saturday off because Saturday's a big money day, and Friday's a big money day, so I can't afford to take Friday or Saturday off. But I could afford to miss my show on Sunday and find a substitute for my show because my Sunday show is a solo acoustic. So the guy that does the booking only has to find another solo acoustic act, which is easy to fill my spot on that Sunday. So then, I could leave Saturday. I get done at 1 o'clock in the morning. I guess technically Sunday morning, and I drive home and head out, and then I could be there 10:30, 11 o'clock. Be in Goshen, Indiana, with no sleep. And but it would give me a chance to hang out with those who haven't left yet and see the stuff that hasn't packed up and left yet. But I know Sundays, I know the way any convention type thing goes because I used to do the fair conventions and stuff like that. By Sunday, most people are most of the good stuff is over. Yeah, my tour bus days are behind me. Nashville, I just I live an hour from Nashville. I just drive down there every day and play. I'm down there five days a week, and then I do my Facebook music live streams on Wednesday nights. So I play 7 shows a week, 6 days a week, including my Facebook stream. Alright, so we got the car sorted out. I think it's all ready to be printed. Still need to sort out a back door for this. Although, I don't know who is going to want to print this thing because it's huge. I don't know, Roy Holly might. He's undertaken some big prints of mine. Thank you, Mike. Yeah, I'll probably need it to offset all the trolls. I haven't even looked if they hit me today. I'm sure they did. I had great luck with the graphite gray. The graphite gray printed gorgeous. But I also had their khaki filament, which the roll I got was badly out of spec. So much so it couldn't go through the Capricorn tube. And they sent me another roll. I haven't had a chance to test the other roll yet. But I mean, I was getting spots of like 1.89 millimeter diameters on that on the first khaki roll they sent me when I started checking it with the calipers. Yeah, I was getting spots like 1.89, I think I even had a 1.93 at one spot, and I'm like, Capricorn tube especially is not going to take that. Now the graphite gray that I got printed beautifully. It had no problems with it. But when I first tried printing with the khaki brown, it kept under extruding, and it kept acting like the nozzle was jammed, and I kept trying to clean the nozzle and clean the nozzle and clean. I kept thinking, okay, my nozzle's jammed and I just can't seem to get it cleared. And then my wife wanted me to print something for her, and she wanted it in blue. And so I thought, well, I'll unload that khaki filament and I'll load the blue and I'll clean out my nozzle real good while that's unloaded. And I'll load the blue filament in there and see if pushing a different filament through makes any difference. And so I loaded some Egyptian blue inland PLA in and printed that phone holder for my wife. And it printed beautifully. And I'm like, wait, what? Okay, so then I took the khaki over and I put it in the X1 and tried to print it, and was getting under extrusion and problems with it. And I went, uh-oh, I don't think it's the printer or the nozzle. I think it's the filament. And I didn't have a set of calipers at the time, so I went out and bought a nice set of digital calipers, and I brought them home. First thing I checked was that filament, and like I said, 1.83 and or 1.89, 1.93, and then another spot would be 1.67, and I'd be like, what? But especially those thicker, there's Capricorn tubing on the S4, and we know the tolerances on Capricorn tubing is even tighter than that of a regular Bowden tube. And I'm like, with the Capricorn tube, there's no way. There's just no way a 1.93 diameter is going to go through it. Yeah, I think I've seen TrueTech before. I don't know if it was in my stream or in somebody else's, but I believe I've seen him before today. But memory doesn't serve me well enough to know if it was in one of my streams or somebody else's. So yeah, but I contacted Paramount through Twitter and told them that I was having under extrusion issues with their filament, and I did that before I'd even went out to get the calipers to test it. And so I was having some under extrusion issues with it, and wanted to know if there was anything I was maybe doing wrong, or did I have the temperature settings wrong. Told them the temperature I was printing at and everything else, and they said, well, that's weird, we haven't really had any reports of that, but we'll send you another roll. So they just went back and copied my order from eBay where I had ordered it from them and shipped me another one. Because it was funny, because it came with, I got a notification on eBay that my order had shipped. So they literally did it through their eBay store somehow, shipped me another roll. Yeah, I like the precision of the Capricorn tube, but I think if your filament isn't precise, then I think the Capricorn tube actually causes you more problems than it helps. And I was wondering, I know it's out, it is still out of spec, but yeah, that's kind of what I was maybe leaning towards going back to regular old Bowden tube. But Chris, the filament's out of spec, and it's pretty badly out of spec. But do you think the out of spec filament would go through a direct drive extruder, like on my A8? I haven't tried it yet, but I was thinking it would be less precise and might have a chance to push it through. Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. The PTFE tube inside the hot end would probably jam up. Okay, I'll give it a whirl. Because it would beat just chucking the filament. You know, if I could get it to print on one printer, even if that's the only printer, because all my other printers are Bowden tube. And like I said, it wouldn't even go through the X1's Bowden tube, which the X1's Bowden tube has a lot of play in it, a lot of slop for, you know, it's not very precise at all. And so it wouldn't go through it. But I thought maybe the A8 being direct drive, it might plow through it. Okay. I didn't think about that. Oh, you added a frame to your a frame and enclosure to your S5 TrueTech? I was looking at a is it Ziltech makes a frame stiffening kit for the CR10s that basically make a box out of the front. It adds uprights off of the front of it, and then those connect back to the gantry. I was wondering if that would be worth it, if it would make a difference. A heat lamp like McDonald's fries. Science. Yeah, I only print in PLA, so I don't have to worry about it. I don't even have to worry about a heated bed, really. The only thing a heated bed does is help it stick a little bit. Which I will say, the build tack sheet, Chris, that you put on this Ender 2, that thing sticks amazing. I don't have to add any sort of, you know, adhesive helper of any kind, no glue stick, no nothing. And it just sticks. Sometimes it's hard to get off. Yeah, so far most of the stuff I print is just big this way. It hasn't been very big this way. Yeah, for me, TrueTech PLA is the way to go, because most of the time, for the most part, I'm just prototyping. You know, it doesn't have to be particularly tough filament or anything like that. All right, buddy, go get a job, man. We're rooting for you. I believe in you. I know Maine's got to be a tough job market, because there's probably just not, you know, a whole, you know, it's like the type of state that it is. It'd be like kind of like living in a small town. There's only so many people and only so many jobs. So good luck to you, brother. Yeah, that's kind of what I imagined. So, I think you got it though, man. You got it. You're a smart dude. You got your stuff together. You present yourself well. You'll be all right. Yeah, that build tack sheet, it just, like I said, sometimes it sticks too well. like to the point where I can barely get a razor blade up under it to start peeling the print off. Yeah, I have to work at it for a minute just to get the razor blade to start up under the edge, and then once I get it started, I can kind of ease it under there. But I'm always worried. I'm like, I'm gonna cut my finger off trying trying to get this thing started, or it's gonna suddenly pop loose, and I'm gonna chop my whole hand off or something. Which I got a new sheet for the S4 from TH3D. I just haven't had a chance to put it on yet. So far, the one that's on there still works. It just has a couple little rips in it that I have to slice my stuff around it. Yeah, so trying to carefully hold on to the front of the build plate, but the Ender 2's build plate is so small it's hard to grip onto. Now most of the stuff, unless it's a really large flat bottom, I can Ivan Miranda it. I got a screwdriver sitting over here. I just pick up the screwdriver and tap it a couple times with the screwdriver and pops it right off the bed. Sure, Ivan would love to know that. Oh, well, we accomplished a few things today. I showed you guys what I'm working on, and we fixed the rear deck of the sports car. We worked some on the tactical trailer. Yeah, Neary swears by his chisel that he's got. He's got this like foldable chisel that's like razor sharp. Yeah, that's a bad day there, True Tech. We don't want to have that day. Had enough recent experience with hospitals as it is. And the hospital here in Clarksville is bad. It's very bad. It's a very bad hospital. You can go in there with flu-like symptoms and not come out. They had someone die in the emergency room waiting room a few months back. Made headlines. And then when I was there a little over a week ago for the kidney stones issue, I asked for a blanket and something to drink from multiple people, and in the 5.5 hours I was there, I never got either one. They'd come in and check on me for something, and I'd be like, "Can I get something to drink and a blanket? It's cold in here." "Oh yeah, no problem." They'd never come back. Push the nurse button on the little remote thing and nobody shows up. Like, okay. Oh yeah. Yeah, they were prompt with the invoice, that's for sure. like hit me with that before I even they discharged me, and when they discharged me, they're like, "Stop at the desk there," and I was like, "Okay." So I stopped at the desk, and she's like, "That'll be $100. Your deductible's $100. That'll be $100." Like, okay. Make sure you grab that before we get you out of here. So yeah, everybody's experience may be different, but that was mine with them. And like I said, a few months ago, they had somebody keel over while waiting in the ER waiting room and die. I think there's probably going to be a lawsuit over that one. Yeah. Yeah, we're trying to build a wall here between us and Mexico or whatever. Which is stupid. And you Canadians ought to be thinking about building a wall between you guys and us. Oh, which comedian was it that said, he said, Canada should build a wall, but it should only be about 3 feet high. That way, all of us as sick and unhealthy when we're trying to get medical care that can't make it over the 3 foot high wall. Oh. But yeah, we did some stuff today. And I got to go back now. Some of the stuff we did has caused me some more stuff that I have to go back and do. But I will go back and do that. I get that hood finished printing, then I will try to successfully print the back end of the car, and then I'll be done. Across the ditch. And we are fast approaching the public release date of the VSV Jeep, the base model 2-door. We are 1 week from today. 1 week from today, I will put that up. So maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll make that public on stream. Wouldn't that be cool? 1 week from today, we will when we do the stream. 1 week from today, we will go through putting the files on Thingiverse for everybody to see. So since that is 1 week from today, that would be perfect. Release day will make the stream the releasing of the files. So then everybody can start downloading it and printing it that's waiting for it. Thanks for stopping in, Chris. Always appreciate it, man. Always good to talk to you, brother. And I think that's about it for today's stream, because we got 5 minutes left. That's not enough time to do anything productive. And I started a few minutes early, so we're probably already at that two hour mark anyway. So appreciate you guys, and we will see you all back here on this channel Tuesday morning. And I'm sure I'll see you guys in Mike Whaley's streams and Don's streams between now and then. So you guys are awesome. Links to support the channel below. As always, Patreon supporters get early access to all my stuff. They already have the Jeep. And yeah, we'll talk to you guys later. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for clicking that like button. And if you click the dislike button, let me know why. If you click that thumbs down, let me know why. Don't be a coward. Don't be a coward. Let me know why. And yeah, we'll see you next time.